This is not financial advice, not legal advice, for entertainment, educational purposes only. Anything I say is my opinion. Please don't make any financial decision based on anything I say in these videos. Listen, when I tell you guys that the economy is in trouble, the economy is in trouble. And the only reason I believe it hasn't crashed and burned yet is because they're artificially supporting the economy because of the elections. And this right here is further evidence of that to me. We all know that commercial real estate is in trouble. Okay? A lot of the banks are probably trillions of dollars in losses combined for losses that they incurred because of commercial backed mortgages. It's absolutely crazy. But now you have Clippers Equity, who had $100 million commercial mortgage-backed securities loan on a property located at 141 Livingston Street. And if you're from New York, you know what 141 Livingston Street is. That's where the New York City Civil Court is. That's where the New York City Administrative Services is. So the building that houses the civil court, which might be the court to listen to or make a decision on a hearing concerning the foreclosure of Clippers Equity's loan, is at risk of being foreclosed on. Okay? Clippers Equity failed to make their payments. They are now delinquent, and which means that the holder of the note can go to the civil court and file a motion, I guess asking for foreclosure or something like that. But the thing is this, would that be a conflict of interest if the court is actually sitting in the building that has a possibility of being foreclosed on because Clippers Equity did not make their payments? Listen, when you see an iconic building like 141 Livingston Street end up in default on the loan, that is a major issue to me. Okay? That is a major issue. And the fact that Clippers Equity is now delinquent, and the fact that the holder of this note can now go to civil court, which is in the building that's secured by the note, is absolutely crazy. I've never seen anything like that in my life. Usually they have courts in city-owned buildings or state-owned buildings to avoid things like this. Because now the court is going to make a ruling that's going to personally affect the courts. I mean, that is a conflict of interest, in my opinion, if the court is going to make a decision that could make them homeless. The courts are making a decision that could make them homeless. I mean, you can't make this up. The bottom line is this. The U.S. economy right now is in deep trouble. The banks, the hedge funds, and a lot of the bad actors are having liquidity issues. Those bad actors, naked shorting AMC and GME, they're having liquidity issues. And they are looking for a way out. And while I believe the government is artificially keeping the market afloat, I think after November 5th, unless something changes, we're going to see a lot more problems worse than the Clippers Equities $100 million commercial mortgage-backed securities loan. Okay? This is going to be standard in the near future. If the SEC, the DOJ, the FBI, and the government don't step in and stop all the fraud and corruption in the United States stock market. And I know I sound like a broken record, but all of this is the fault of the SEC. Okay? If the SEC would have reined in the bad actors, if they would have punished them appropriately with real fines and the suspension of license to trade, Clipper Equity wouldn't be taking $100 million loans that they couldn't pay. There wouldn't be all these derivatives. It's like 300 trillion in derivatives that these banks hold. And a majority of it is naked, which means it's not supported by anything. There's no collateral. It's just one big Ponzi scheme. And I blame the SEC for not doing their job. Because if the SEC, when they first started engaging in shenanigans, gave them real fines, took their license to trade, everybody else would have fell in line. But because the SEC and Wall Street have this revolving door type relationship where the same people, they leave the SEC, they go to Wall Street. They leave Wall Street, they go to the SEC. How are they going to properly police each other? How? When they all buddies drinking and playing golf together. Anyway, please leave some comments. Tell me what you think. Do you think it's absolutely crazy that the building that the courts is in could possibly go into foreclosure with the courts making a decision on whether or not they should be homeless or not? Anyway, have a great day. God bless, and I appreciate y'all on this journey with me.